I'm going to give you twice as much back. It's time to get up.
Stay where you are. There's plenty of time.
You'll be in the closet in 5 minutes. I'm telling you this. If this happens again, I'll make you clean up every last drop. And then I'll go to your father and let him deal with you. Now go and get dressed. I'll see you at breakfast.
Your breakfast's waiting.
Thank you. Behave yourselves, mind.
You heard what she said, so get on with it.
Are you tea or beer?
I'd like tea, please.
Well, get it.
There's some bacon in the pan.
Don't let Ma Brackett frighten you. She's only over the kitchen. The one you've got to look out for is Mabel Price. She's the one who rules the roost here, not Mrs. Lucas, the housekeeper. She only thinks she does. And watch out for Symes. He's a footman. He'd give his mother away for a shilling. Pike the butler. He's all right. Ada you've met. She's got a slate loose. Maggie's ignorant as a pig. Then there's 2 gardeners and my Fred the coachman. We're walking out. You like my Fred. It was him who told me to put you wise.
Oh, thank you both. And I hope you'll be very happy.
Ta very much. Well, work to do.
Give it back! Here. Oh, Luke.
Thank you, Ada.
Well, good morning, children.
Good morning, Mr. Burgess.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning. And your name is?
Trotter. Tilly Trotter, sir.
Tilly Trotter, Trotter, Tilly, Tilly Trotter.
Now, don't be silly, Matthew. It's a nice name. A name we can associate with alliteration. James Burgess, I'm delighted to meet you. Well, come, children, come to table, to table. You were acquainted with Mrs. Ross, I believe.
Yes, sir.
They were friends of mine. She taught you to read and write, did she not?
Yes, sir.
The world is yours if you can read and write. Well, what are we waiting for? Life is short, even at its longest. Now, the case for the plaintiff opened page 291. And what are we writing there, young Matthew?
This morning, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was spooky. I've never seen them so quiet.
Do you think she had them under a spell?
How else can you explain it? Wait till I tell him in the village.
to you, didn't I?
What is it? What's wrong? What's the matter? Bad dream?
Yes, sir. He had a nightmare.
Come on. You're all right. You settle down.
Father,
What is it?
nothing.
No, no. Do you have a lot to eat tonight?
No, sir. And it wasn't a nightmare.
No?
Well, sir, when I got into bed the night, well, he'd put a frog in my bed. So I decided tit for tat was the way to get the better of him. And that's why I put the frog in his nightshirt.
In his nightshirt? Well, I can understand your motive, but you must have scared him badly.
I'm afraid I did, sir. And I'm very sorry.
Don't be too sorry. But I wouldn't take such drastic actions again.
So you're not dismissing me?
No, of course not. Good night, Trotter.
Good night, sir.
Here we go round the Marley Bush early in the morning.
Thanks to the frog episode, Matthew and I had reached an understanding, which made life easier for both of us. Now that he and Luke knew they were off to boarding school, they seemed determined to enjoy life at Highfield while they could.
Tilly, my dear, I have a little book I wish you to read.
Mr. Burgess was kind and encouraged me to read, though the books he brought me were a far cry from Mrs. Ross's Bible. But Ada was more convinced than ever that I was a witch, and Cook and the others seemed to follow her lead. If it hadn't been for Phyllis and Fred, life in the house would have been unbearable. As it was, my life had settled into a pattern, and time was flying by. I could hardly believe my day off had arrived so soon. I had nowhere to go, but it didn't matter. Just to be out of the house was enough.
Hello, Tilly. Sam Drew. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, I do. Hello.
This is my sister, Katie. Well, sorry to hear about your granny. Would you like to come back to our place for tea?
Well, I don't know.
It's not far, and my ma won't mind.
Well, yes, I'd like to.
Well, what are you waiting for? Ma? This is Tilly Trotter. We've asked her for tea.
Oh, how in the lass? That's if you can get in, right?
Tilly's working up with the big house, Ma.
Yeah? Do you like working up there, Pet?
Yes, yes, I do.
Sunday, we're always together. It's the one time of the week I've got all my troubles around me in one go. Fanny, are them griddle cakes ready yet?
She's been scoffing them, Ma.
No, I haven't, Elsa. I haven't, Ma.
This lot must look like a menagerie to you.
How are then? Let's eat. Martha, get your backside off that seat and let Tilly take the weight off her legs.
Thank you.
There you go, honey. Oh, fetch the china cup. We've got company. Do you like milk with your tea?
Yes, yes, thank you.
You can have sugar and all.
I thank you kindly, sir.
There we are. Now dig in. Enjoy your tea.
It's a lovely tea, Mrs. Drew. Lovely.
Thanks.
Have some bread, though, just in case.
Thanks, Ma.
The following week, the boys left for boarding school. There were tears all round, but it was the mistress who shed most of them.
It's all right, my darling. The time will fly. You'll soon be home.
I don't want to go, Trotter. I'd behave if I could stay.
It won't be forever, Master Matthew. There's the holidays to look forward to.
There now. No
It's
more
so
tears.
different.
Not from
I
big
won't
boys.
know what to do. And they'll be big boys.
You'll hold your own, Master Matthew. Never fear.
Now say goodbye to your Mama.
Goodbye, Mama. Bye, Mama.
My little darling. I shall never forgive you for this.
Goodbye, Trotter.
Goodbye, Master Matthew. And don't worry.
Thank you, David.
Come along. About your business.
Turn round, boys.
All of you.
I wonder what they were doing up there all that time.
Doesn't take them all day to take them to school. You'd have thought he would have come right back knowing the state the mistress was in.
Aye, but which mistress?
They say, up at Dean House, that old man Mighton knows what's going on. And it's said that Lady Agnes has got more than one on the go. And the master might be playing second fiddle.
Well, let them look after their business and we'll tend to ours. It's Saturday. It's the end of the month. We've got to cook the books. Are you finished?
Yes, Mrs. Brackett.
Well, you can go.
Why should she? She's been here near enough 2 months. She's one of us. She should have her share.
Well, it'll be coppers only then. Right. Our takings this month. Now, the sale of meat and groceries brought in 25 shillings. Fish and poultry was 18 shillings and 9pence. The miller was £2.5 and 4pence. And the eggs and the fruit and the veg that went to the market, now that was really good this month. It was £7.12 and 6pence. So altogether, that's £12, 1 and 7pence. Well now, that's £3 and 5 shillings for you, Robert, and £3, 5 shillings for me, £2 for Fred, and £2 for Phyllis, and £1 for you, Maggie, though you don't deserve it. And what do I have left? 11 shillings and 7pence. And what we're going to do about this then?
That's mine.
We said Tilly was in on this.
Well, it better be half then.
That's not fair.
Well, let Trotter have it then.
Life at Highfield changed once the boys had gone. Jessie, Ann and John enjoyed having me to themselves, and as the weeks went by, they began to blossom. And so did I, thanks to Mr. Burgess, who would talk to me for hours about things I could never have imagined. Katie was becoming a good friend too, the best friend I'd ever had. And though I knew the staff would never accept me, my life at Highfield seemed to be running smoothly. Until, that is, one day in October, when the house was turned on its head.
Morning, my dear.
Morning. I've had a letter from Matthew. You know, he is very homesick.
We've discussed this. The answer's no. They're there for a reason. Talking of children, Harry is coming home for Christmas.
That will be nice for you.
Eileen, he's my son. I will have him here as often as I can, whether he reminds you of my first wife or not. I'll be back for supper.
Oh, the mine. I don't know why you bother.
Because, my dear, if I didn't bother, we would have nothing to live on.
Now listen, lads. I know what you're saying, but I don't know what I can do. It's up to the master.
Rosier's men get paid half as much again, man.
I haven't got the authority.
This can't go on.
What's that all about?
They want more money, sir. They say Rosier pays better rates.
There's no more money. If you want to go and work for Rosier, you can.
Why wasn't I told?
I didn't know.
We weren't told to expect you, Ma'am. Does the mistress know? No, Mrs. Lucas. This is in the nature of a surprise.
Mama! What are you doing here? Is there anything wrong with Father?
No, there's nothing wrong with him.
Then what?
Leave us, Price. Now, my dear, do you know a person by the name of Lady Agnes Myton?
Why, yes, she's a neighbour. She visits occasionally.
She dares to visit you?
Mama, what are you implying?
Well, do I have to explain further?
Yes, I'm afraid you do.
The fact I'm here should be explanation enough. You are obviously unaware that she and Mark are having an affair. She is his mistress and makes no secret of it. It's the talk of the county. Oh. Now, my dear, don't upset yourself. I have it all worked out. You can't stay here. You're coming back with me, and you're bringing the children with you. Your happiness comes first. Didn't you have the slightest suspicion?
No, Mama. What do I know what's going on in the world when I'm tied to this room?
It's your own fault. No, my dear, don't look at me like that. You and I know why you took to your couch. There were other ways of gaining your freedom from his bed. You've gone abroad, gone visiting. And no, you chose incarceration.
Mama, please. Don't you realise this has been a great shock? Please give me a little time.
All the time in the world. What time do you expect him back?
He's at the mine. It could be this evening.
I wouldn't wait till then. You must send for him.
There's been a message from your wife, sir. You need it at home urgently.
Pike?
Nothing as far as I know, sir, except Mrs. Fulford Meadows has arrived.
Eileen? I understand your mother's arrived. Is there anything wrong?
It all depends on how one views the word wrong. I understand that I am the last person in the county to know that you have a mistress. Well, do you admit it?
What do you expect me to do? Your mother's already given you her version.
And you have an explanation?
Oh, yes, Eileen. I have an explanation. Just ask yourself, how long is it since we laid together? How long is it since you even let me touch you? If you hadn't taken to your couch as an escape, maybe things would have been different. You've made yourself an invalid, Eileen, so don't blame me entirely. What do you intend to do?
I'm going home with my mother. I shall take the children with me, of course.
You will not.
Oh, I shall, Mark. And if you don't let me take them without fuss, I will take them legally. If, however, you put no obstacle in my way, I shall make it possible for the children to visit you occasionally. The house was in turmoil. No one could believe the mistress was really leaving. But she was. And that meant only one thing. I'd soon be out of a job.
Don't put her in the trunk, Trotter. She'll be lonely. Why won't you come with me, Trotter?
Well, Miss Jessie, it's a long way. And anyway, there'll be another nursemaid waiting for you at the other end.
Tilly, what is it, Phyllis? There's a young lad at the back door says he has to see you. You won't go away. Go on, they can't do much more to you. You'll be out on your heels them or anywhere. I'll stay with him.
I had to see you, Tilly. I've some good news. Our Hal's going to be a sailor.
A sailor?
Aye, I know Mick and all. They got into a fight with some sailors in Newcastle. And Ned got away, but last he saw, Hal and Mick were being hauled up the gangway off a clipper. I've laughed more since yesterday than I've done in my life. Hal's always hated the water. He wouldn't even go swimming in the burn with the lads.
But where has he gone?
Well, that's the funniest part of it. Some fella down the quay told Ned it was bound for the Indies. My dad reckons he'll not be back for a year or two.
Oh, Steve, I think that's the best news of my life. I was worried sick. You see, I'll likely be out of the job tomorrow.
You've got the sack?
Not exactly. Look, I'm going to have to go in. One of the other maids is standing in for me. Thanks for coming.
Well, when will I see you?
Be good.
Pack your bags, girl, and don't be here this afternoon.